Hey guys, thanks for coming back for another video. This is your pal Bunions here. If you like the first video and you like this and you want to see more painting, be sure you like and subscribe and hit that little bell so you can see whenever I upload new videos. So we are still working on that model of Grashnak by Brute Fun Minis. He is coming along nicely. This is a little bit of a shorter painting night. I didn't have as much time to paint. So I spent most of my time this evening working on some of the straps that are holding his shoulder pads in place. I am using a leather brown by Reaper Paints. Like I said last time, it is a very yellow colored paint. And these straps do kind of work their way up under these shoulder pads here, which is a nice detail because, you know, you spin it around and you look at it, you don't necessarily see where the strap ends. It doesn't just stop, it just kind of keeps going. So and a little work there. I am using my round Kalinsky Sable brush. It is a Creative Mark. It's a 2.0, so I'm using a little bit of a smaller brush, so this part will take me a little bit longer to go through. And I apologize if I go off frame a couple times. I'm still working on getting my camera in the right spot, but I think I was able to up the resolution on this. The unfortunate part is my computer does not have a very good graphics card, so I will probably need to upgrade my computer if I plan to do a whole lot more of these. I did, before the video started, I did dilute the leather brown, so I did 2 drops of leather brown paint to 1 drop of water. So that's the consistency I went with. It flows really nicely off the brush. And it's actually given me better coverage tonight than it did last night. I don't know if it's the second coat here or if my paint's just a little bit thicker. Yeah, every time you see that paintbrush go off the bottom of the frame for a second, it's me sticking it in my mouth. I am a paint eater, so I do apologize if any of you find that gross. Alright. But we are working on these straps. He does have quite a few straps, so it did take me a little while to work through these. It's so satisfying watching whenever a brush goes across a line and you just see the line make itself, like, get painted. It's such a nice thing to see. Remember, if you do like this miniature, and I really do recommend this miniature, it's Brute Fun Minis. He has a shop on both my Mini Factory and 3D Cult, so I'll make sure to put the links in the description below. So if you want to go take your own hand at painting this and 3D printing it, I will also be uploading this to my shop. If you want to bypass the 3D printing part of this and just buy yourself a miniature. Alright, so I think we're getting fairly close. I don't know that I get all of the straps done tonight. I do get most of them done. You may be asking yourself, man, Bunions, that's a very vibrant color there. It's very light. It's a little washed out, but I do come back a little bit later and fix that. Because you are correct. This is this is not your typical dark brown leather. This is like cured leather that you see, which is the inside. I do actually figure out that it would be better if I switch to a bigger brush. So this is the paintbrush I am switching over to is a Winsor & Newton Series 7. It is a size 1. So it's going to allow me to pick up a little bit more paint while still having that nice point on the end. If you haven't ever painted with a sable brush, and you sit there and you fight with those synthetic brushes, I would really recommend picking one up. I have 3 of them now, and they are my go-tos. They hold their point really well. I haven't had problems with stray hairs. It's a really nice thing. All right. Every once in a while, you gotta brace the miniature because it just moves around too much. You need to make sure. So I'm just bracing it on the table there, giving myself a little bit less shaking. As I said last time, he's got his 2 feet on there. They're in a little bit of a wide stance, so the mounting tape that you see there doesn't really work as well as it does with some of my other miniatures. All right. Work on these upper straps now a little bit. He does have some bolts on those straps, so they are making it a little bit hard. I can't just run the brush directly over the strap. But I'll come back later and I'll paint them a metallic color. Let me get a little bit more interesting to look at. All right. And as I said last time, this miniature is about 2.5 inches tall. He does come on a 40mm base, but he will still work quite nicely in a regular sized Blood Bowl square. And also, I do find painting to be a very relaxing hobby. I think I'm going to switch up what I'm doing here in just a second. Let's see what I'm doing. Yep, I am, so what I'm doing, I'm pulling out some, I think it's Gorgrunta fur, some Citadel contrast paint. I'll show you here in a second. Yeah, we got some Gorgrunta fur. So this is what I'm doing to kind of darken that leather a little bit because it is a little bit washed out. So this will give me a nice dark brown in some of those recesses. And the leather, the yellow brown backing behind it will actually make that brown look really good. I'm probably not as experienced with contrast paints as I should be. I do have quite a few of them, and I do use them from time to time. I actually find them quite nice in airbrushing. They are a perfect consistency just to put right into an airbrush, and they go onto whatever it is you're painting really nicely. But then you also, they're the same thing. They're just a little bit like a shade 2.0, basically. They have a little bit more pigment to them, so they don't just run straight to those edges and those deep spots. They do leave some of their pigmentation behind, so you have some lighter, high areas as you're working through things. Yeah, I told you I kind of go off frame here every once in a while. I will get my camera situated before too long. Just working our way around those straps, making them that nice darker brown. Got to get under his armpit there. I'm kind of picking and choosing where I'm using this right now. I kind of, before I got too horribly far into the process of getting all these straps 100%, I did want to try to see what the Gore-Grunta fur looked like over that leather brown, and it is giving me an effect that I want, so. Alright. I think I'm going to call it done with the contrast paint for tonight. So we'll get that and we'll put it away. I do think in this moment, I think about doing some dry brushing, which I'm not the best dry brusher in the world, but I think I changed my mind. Yeah, I pull out my dry brush and I throw it down there. It is it's an Army Painter dry brush. I'll tell you the size if I can find it again. Oh, just a plain Army Painter dry brush. I found another strap that I wanted to paint. I think Blood Bowl is the hobby game that I've found so far that is my favorite. It's got some complexity to it, but at the same time it's simple enough that, you know, if you have a couple friends that don't know what they're doing, you can sit down with them and you can play, and you can kind of explain it to them as you go along, which I've actually done a couple times. I'd be really interested in joining a league, so we're trying to get a league going here at my friendly local game shop. Sorry, I think my camera is getting tired. That autofocus is just not wanting to find what I'm working on. Alright. We are getting close to the end of what I was able to accomplish tonight. I am really glad if you stayed this long on the video to watch me do some painting. If you have any comments or any other feedback, I'd really love to hear. But again, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you want to see more of this content. And as always, thank you.